Have a good game. Have a good game. Thank you. It's the first
Good afternoon, Catherine, and good afternoon, everybody, to a absolutely packed house here in Llandudno. And why not? What a match they've got in prospect. One of the absolute all-time greats against one of the best match players on tour in Barry Hawkins. So it should be a treat. And I'm joined in the commentary box by Lee Walker, who's Mark's confidant coach and best pal. And how are you on days like this? Are you nervous?
Yeah, afternoon, John. Yeah, I do get a little bit nervous.
What have you made of his form so far this week, Lee?
Yeah, he's been pretty good. The last couple of matches he's played, probably not been his best snooker, but played a lot better last week in the Players' Championship. Actually beat Barry in that tournament. And he's kind of carried that on here. He's played 2 decent matches.
Well, complete miss-hit there. Played the thin clip on the red, missed it completely. The other one coming back and was left one over the middle. So not a great start from Barry, that.
One.
Yeah, talking to Barry yesterday in the practice room. He's got a bit of a problem with his back. Be interesting to see if that affects him here today. Nice cannon there by Mark, and this decent first opportunity.
8. Nine.
Yeah, just the sort of chance you wanted to start up a match. Hasn't had to work for it as well. Been presented this particular visit, so make the most of it. Get your hand on the table and used to the pace.
16.
Arena's difference, of course, had a facelift and face change. 4 tables down to 2 now. As you can see there, 2 of the tables dismantled last night, and these 2 moved over, so it's all good stuff. You got to get used to it, but nothing these 2 players haven't seen before.
24.
Yeah, really nice to see.
25.
Packed audience in to watch. And there you see, it's been pretty much packed from day one. Here's a good shot of, oh, he's not going to be happy with that. That was a really poor shot from Mark Williams.
Well, Lee, I don't know where that's come from. That's in the all-time top 3 of the worst shots I've ever seen him play. Totally unlike him, and he's bemused.
Mark Williams, 32.
Yeah, he had loads of room to put that cue ball. 3 loose reds he could have played on. Really poor shot from Mark. You were saying earlier, John, about getting a bit nervous watching him play, and I had the pleasure of commentating with John Virgo on the Mark's match against John Higgins in the quarterfinal of the World Championships. And for the last red and all the colours, I didn't say one single word.
Well, when you've got that kind of involvement, I can't say I blame you. But you've been watching your pal and the person you coach as an absolute top-class player for a long time. That must bring plenty of pleasure in its own right. The noise of that tip. Honestly, don't adjust the sound at home. That it really does sound that hard.
Yeah, Mark plays with probably the hardest tip of anyone on the World Snooker Tour. And there you see it. Won't be happy with that safety though. Left Barry a chance here. That was excellent long red from Barry Hawkins. That's the cue ball to slow up.
Yeah, brilliant piece of cueing. Probably just too good, you'd have to say. Very reactive. This is a tricky little green, this, into a blind pocket. And as ever, the priority is make sure you knock the green in. It's the important bit. Your cue ball's going down towards the red. You're bound to be on something, you would think. Make sure you pot the green, which he's done. And played very well. So Barry's first decent chance this afternoon.
Five.
Yeah, not the best positional shot there from Barry. Still should be okay. Didn't mean to cannon the red. I was a little bit surprised, John, when I saw earlier that these two have played 12 times. The score 10-2 to Mark Williams.
Yep, me too, actually. Had a little look, stats, and thought, you know, that is a massive lead in the head-to-heads. Particularly when you see how good a match player Barry is, but then you realise how good Mark Williams is at match play. So maybe it's not a surprise. Winner of 4 ranking events,
11.
Barry, so very capable. Been in major finals, just quite hasn't managed to get his head in front. But he's certainly capable of winning one.
16. $17.
Again, looks to be a little bit straight on this blue. Again, shouldn't be a problem. He can just play a little screw shot. Can just pot this red. He's got the pink waiting, even if it won't go on its own spot. He's just checking now to see if it will spot. If it doesn't, it'll go on the black spot.
$23.
He'd be very disappointed, I think, if he doesn't go on and win the frame at this visit now.
$29.
Pink not going on its own spot, so that makes it much easier now for Barry.
$13.
He only played last week in the Players' Championship. Mark Williams ran out a 6-2 winner in that match. Mark got off to a really fast start, and Barry didn't really recover from it, so we'll be looking to make a good start here today. He's going along very nicely here.
36.
Back to a line we've been peddling all week. It is an absolute sprint in this tournament for these players. So important to get a very good start, which is looking like Barry's going to do.
$43. 44.
He pots the pink this time. It'll go back on its own spot, and where those three reds are, and make it a little bit easier for Barry.
Didn't play the greatest shot the last one there. Sort of not have to screw out. Yeah. Hit it well though. Where's it going to finish? Doesn't want to roll on the red. No,
50.
Just enough. It pulled up. Certainly got into the cue ball there.
$51.
Yeah, he's just slightly scrapping for the cue ball at the moment. He's not perfect on the last couple of shots. Wasn't right on the pink. A little bit awkward on that red, so not out of the woods yet with the cue ball.
Well, I thought he'd missed that one. These middle pockets are very, very tight, and thought that was a little bit wide. He's just lost the cue ball, like you said, John. Last few shots, just making this a little bit more difficult than it should have been. This is a tough red.
Yeah, and a good test of your cue in this. There's not a lot of hole to aim at here. Ooh, once again, another wobbler, but in it went. Good pot.
Yeah, just a little shake of the head from Barry. If he's straight on this red, on this pink, he's not going to be able to get on the last red.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do with that. And it just shows you he'd done it that one little shot before where he just didn't get a good angle on the pink. And it's sort of snowballed since then. With this position, he's just not been quite right on anything. So I don't know whether he'll even contemplate the double, but he's looking like he's going to pot the pink and then play the safety and take the cue ball down in behind yellow and brown, maybe. Or does he play the double? Got a few choices here.
64.
Yeah, which is why he's just taking his time a little bit. Can't quite work out. He can drop in behind pink and black, leave the red in the middle of the table. He's gone for the double. He's got a 2-in-1 shot.
Barry Hawkins, 64.
Good 64, but trust me, he'll be very disappointed he didn't win at that visit.
You just think, just the edge of this red just sticking out. Well, that's worked out beautifully. Nice bit of fortune there for Mark Williams.
Yeah, I blame the coach. He's always been lucky. The only bad side, of course, is he's not the brown tight on the ball cushion, but get that to that later. But yeah, getting out of it was okay. And of course, it's not about getting out of it. It's can you leave it safe, which he hasn't.
So, 32 points behind, so he needs at least a blue with this red. sure.
1.
A few minutes ago, Mark Williams would have been sat in his seat thinking this first frame is gone.
Yeah, one thing looking at the Brownlee, if it's tight to the cushion, that's what you'd be hoping for, wouldn't it? Because you can play a little bit of run inside on that and then try and flick it down the cushion. Don't know whether it is absolutely tight. It looks pretty close to it, which, as I say, aids the pot. When it's just a little bit off, it's a bit difficult, or more difficult, I should say. But when it's tight, it's one you can pot. What a lovely shot that was with the extension on the cue.
8.
Really got into the cue ball well there.
Yeah, and he looks to have a nice angle. Well, the way he's coming around and having a look, he may be a little bit straight on the screen because he's looking at where he wants to put the cue ball. If he tries to play the brown into the green pocket, that's going to be a really tough shot. There you see he wanted a little bit of an angle there, and he's not going to be potting. Well, if he does pot the brown into the yellow pocket, he's going to have to leave a really difficult shot to do that. So if he takes it into the green pocket, that's going to be really tough.
Yes, it's where the top players have got to make decisions. There's nothing in the rules saying you've got to win in this visit.
11.
So Mark Williams has decided that's what he's going to do. Prudence. Yep, couldn't guarantee. And what a shot he's played here. What a shot he's played here.
Yeah, very good safety shot from Mark.
Yeah, Barry can't, even if he could snick the edge, which is very tight, it's not really the shot you want to be playing because you know you're going to clip it over the corner. So he's in a bit of bother here. Try and hit it from the back cushion, is he? There's only one place it's going. There's only one place it's going. Mark had him in all sorts of trouble there. And he really did.
So, one good positional shot here from Mark Williams.
Four.
Yeah, either he's just the wrong side of the blue, but because he's only just the wrong side of the blue, this now makes this shot almost impossible to get on the pink.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? You play that shot. I think half the time you're playing it, you should probably play to try and leave yourself straight because you know you're never going to get it. But where he's finished couldn't be worse. If it was low, it'd be easy. High, even easier. But just got to drop this in.
9.
So it's going to be more match play before this frame's over.
Yeah, just play a little split shot here. Try and get the white in behind the black. Pink on the opposite side cushion.
Mark Williams, 9.
Most important thing here for Barry, make sure you get that pink safe.
Very good.
Yeah, played it well.
Well, we said start of the frame that these two are two top-class match players. And in this first frame, we're certainly getting an example of it. No heroics here. Try and drop dead weight onto this pink.
Found the miss. Mark Williams, 6.
Amazing that he could actually miss that.
Back here.
So maybe put back into bat.
certainly looked like that was just going to clip the edge of the pink, but it didn't. So
Mark?
cue ball goes back. As long as Barry hits it this time, won't really make much difference. The 6 points, he's still 6 points in front, so he only needs the pink. But he'll want to hit it this time, and he has.
Yeah, very easy just to clip off this really thin and leave the pink there, but Mark's trying to leave it somewhere where it's a little bit more awkward for the return shot.
Safety from Barry. Mark probably play similar shot again, trying to get that pink, same position, try to get the white in behind the black.
And this time, this is not quite as easy as the one Barry had beforehand, so we may not even play the shot to get the cue ball down the table. Try to get him back behind the black.
Yeah, some really good safety from both players.
A couple of shots ago, Barry had Mark in a bit of trouble, but the roles are reversed. That's why there's a little shake of the head. Mark's got Barry in a bit of a pickle. Awkward cueing. You can push the pink nearly full ball onto the side cushion, but you're always wary about the middle pocket, sticking it over the middle, so might be a change of shot from that one, but this is not an easy position he's in. And because of that, he's given Mark Williams a shot at the pink. I think I might have been tempted just to push that pink onto the side cushion and take my chances. I think it was an easier shot than the one he played. So Mark Williams, this pink and black. Oh, for a frame that would have been a bit of thievery. Not to be, but a very good piece of cueing needed from Barry Hawkins to win the first frame.
Well, he couldn't have got that any closer. So both players have had their chances to win this opening frame.
6.
Can Mark Williams pot the black? He can. So very exciting first frame. Both players had their chances. Barry made a nice break of 64 at the start, but it's Mark Williams that takes the opening frame on the black, and he leads by 1 frame to 0.
Yeah, thank you. Good chat there.
Second
He's
frame,
not
Mark
clueless, Ken,
Williams
at
to
all.
break.
He's always crafty, that boy. But yeah, there was some brilliant match play near the end of that, and well, just wondered how many young players who are aspiring might even be on the tour. At the end of that frame, where Mark Williams couldn't win it in the one visit, the way he managed to play the safety on the brown and kept in it, and decided to play safe on the pink and black as well. And well, you don't always have to win in the one visit and push the boat out.
Yeah, Mark will be absolutely delighted to be one frame in front, I'm sure, when Barry was in on that 64 break, that he would have thought the first frame was over. As you said earlier, John, that it's lovely to see the century breaks and everything, but black ball finishes are exciting, aren't they?
Well, they are, and also they're a great part of the sport, aren't they? I mean, I absolutely, love watching the performance of the day of Chang Bing Yu making 4 centuries. Is absolutely wonderful, but top-class match players coming along head-to-head, playing frames like that, doesn't get much better.
Yeah, that was a nice safety shot from Barry. Just checking to see if he's covered the red. It must be quite tight because Mark is having a little look at it. Well, he can get through to hit it, but can he get the white back near the ball cushion?
Yeah, it looks like the green's in the way, doesn't it, for any path back there. Maybe he can manufacture something. He usually finds a way.
Well, he decided to have a go at that red. Mark does play a lot of shots where it's like quite a low percentage shot to pot the red, but you see where he's left the cue ball. It's the only one he could leave, and if it did go in, he would have been on a colour.
Yeah, I mean, Ken was talking about playing shots that other people don't play. There's one right there. I mean, who'd have thought of that? And I can assure you, when I was playing in my pomp and playing against him, you'd come to the table thinking, oh, we're bound to be on something, the shot he's played, and when you get there, you were in all sorts of trouble. As I say, that was a real shot to nothing he dug out.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a feature of Jackson Page's game as well, because he's played so much with Mark that he plays quite a few shots like that as well.
Well, if you were playing with Mark in practice and you didn't pick it up, I think you'd be some kind of stupid, wouldn't you? Because you've got to learn off this man. A very underestimated part of Mark Williams' game is his match play. That safety play has always been top class. And you're up against the Higginses and the Selbys and people who are renowned. He has been more than able to hold his own. That's a cracking return from Barry, though. What a shot he's played there.
Yeah, and he just flicked the red on the bottom cushion. If he'd caught that red a little bit thicker, the white would have stayed down this end. But as it is, I think he's got Mark Williams in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he comes off the top cushion and drops in that red that's on the left-hand side. Just looking there where Mark is. Would he leave anything? That's why he's looking there. So top cushion, dead weight, and into that red. I think there's 3 reds on the right-hand side. The middle one would be cuttable, but it wouldn't be nice. So he's having a look at that. And he's also got side cushion and drop into the red on the right hand side, but he's gone back to this one.
Yeah, he's played it pretty well. He knew basically that he was going to leave this red by the pink spot, but that's a really tough red if Barry chooses to take that.
Yeah, that's a go on then, pal. I dare you. Absolute horrible shot that is. He won't be taking that. Yeah, too thick. I caught a bit of the jaw.
Nice pot by Barry. Controlled the cue ball really well. Nicely on the black. And a great chance now.
Yeah, just trying to figure out how to guarantee on that red that's just above the cue ball to the right. That's the one he'd like to get on. Yep, pretty perfect.
8. Nine.
So he had an excellent chance in the opening frame. Just come up slightly short. Can he make enough this time? Again, you have to say for a player of Barry's class, he'd be slightly disappointed if
16.
didn't get very close to the winning line from this visit. Balls
17.
the spread like you'd set them up in a practice session.
Yeah, we know he's hitting the ball all right. Breaking the first frame of 64. Ultimately, I lost it, of course, because he didn't get on that last red. But
24.
Queuing and scoring looks in good order.
$25.
You're just going to keep nice control of that cue ball. Doesn't have to play any cannons.
$32.
Yeah, played that nicely.
$33. 14. 41.
Choosing to play for the pink this time. Pink won't go on its own spot. It'll go on the brown spot, but Barry won't be worried about that. He's got the blue in the open. He's got the black in the open. He's already 47 points in front.
47. $48.
I think the two reds that are closest to the right-hand black pocket, I think the top one will go. Yeah, that's the one he's played for.
55.
Yeah, I think the angle's okay, just a straight screw back. That was the only one that could have half gone wrong. He left the wrong angle, but should be good here. And the flick off the other one is nice, but really does look to be hitting the ball very crisply. Disappointed as anybody to have lost the first frame, but this is a very good response. Good mid-range red to open up from Mark's safety mistake. He's taken these very nicely.
Yeah, very consistent player. Barry Hawkins is not very often you see him playing poorly. If you are going to beat him, you know you're going to have to play well. So 71 in front.
71.
Just this red. This should give him the second frame.
72. $79. 18.
So this frame now over. Just see if Barry Hawkins can go on and make
87.
a century. He's made 521 centuries in his career.
88.
36 last season. Already on 22 this season.
$95.
Well, not to be, but that's an excellent visit from Barry Hawkins, particularly with what happened in the opening frame, which he should have won. So a great response, and they're all square at 1-all.
Thank you. Frame 3, Barry Hawkins to break.
Well, that's the question. Very difficult to answer when both players are looking in good fettle. What we have got is a very good matchup at the moment, which is only what we expected, Lee.
Yeah, you would expect a good quality match with these two. And so far, it's not disappointing.
Oh.
That's a beautiful long red from Mark Williams.
Good bit of coaching there, Lee. You've got him right in the middle of the white there. Marvellous. That is a beautiful strike. It really is. Not easy, but after the one before, I fancied them.
Yeah, as good as the red was. Unfortunately, that wasn't. But I think he's overscribed the cue ball, so he might have got away with that. I don't think, at first glance, I don't think he's left anything for Barry.
Yeah, and he's just looking to see. He'd like to play off the red that's next to the black for the safety. He's just making sure it's not a plant. I want to knock the black in. Barry. He was right. Now that could put a bit of time on the frame, because one pocket's completely blocked now.
Yeah. Could have a little bit of a stalemate here.
Very good from Barry, this. Very good. Blocking off the left-hand side, so he can't get past the pink. Yeah, good hit. So figure 8 here off this red. The cue ball down near the green pocket. And you've blocked off one side completely. It's actually a bit of a mistake, that. Shouldn't have been that far over. Should have blocked that off.
Mark trying to block off left-hand side of the reds, but he's just left a slight gap for Barry. Now as he left a gap to the edge of the red, in both players having a little smile. Can Mark get the cue ball over enough this time? Well, that little kiss on the yellow will help.
Oh, just a bit. No wonder Barry's shaking his head. Both players had a couple of chances to try and block that off. Eventually, that little cannon off the yellow is going to do it. And I would say it's only a bit of home. You're thinking about putting the kettle on. I'd probably do it now, because this might take a while.
Found the miss. Mark Williams home.
I'm giving 4 points away. Just a little bit of a sighter on the first go. One thing he doesn't want to do is hit that red too thick and leave a pot on for Mark. So it'll be same shot again.
Mark.
And that's what he didn't want to do. Caught it a little bit thick, and he's pushed the red over the middle pocket.
Yeah, I'm just looking, actually, that if Mark just stuns that in, leaves it in, he'll probably get through the gap of the black without having to do anything. He's going to come round to have a look, but the black's the ball you've got to get rid of as soon as possible. He's coming to have a look now, see? There might be a gap there, yeah. If he just drops the... leaves it, stuns it in there. There's the gap perfectly.
I think he heard you, John.
One.
Right, don't put the kettle on. Because the frame all of a sudden is going to be a lot better.
Be disappointed with that, though. Just needed to miss that red.
8.
If he'd missed that red, he'd have had that. Is he looking at a plant?
I suppose he can play it with an element of safety as well, can't he? Yep. Here it goes.
9.
Very clever.
Well, Mark just complaining there about a bit of a big bounce off the cushion. He's overhit that by quite a way. Played for the red on the top of the 3 reds close to the black. He still attempted to cut it in, but that was very, very thin.
11.
And he's played white into an excellent spot.
That's a classic example of what I was talking about earlier, Lee, when you used to play him. And you think, oh, he's missed one there. And you get up to the table and you stand there and you go, oh, I'm in a load of trouble here. Look where he's left that.
Yeah, it's always difficult to call shots that Mark Williams plays, isn't it? You know, you can look quite silly sometimes. Doesn't play, like you said earlier, doesn't play shots that other people would play.
Yeah, brilliant. Priority there for the 2 reds that are above the black was to block that off and make the safety shot. That if Barry Hawkins could see that, that was the easy safety shot. So Mark's got him right behind the yellow. All of a sudden, something that looks pretty innocuous is actually quite a lot of trouble.
That's the way he played that shot. Some excellent safety from both players, that has to be said.
Yeah, they always call this game chess with balls. Well, there's quite a lot of chess going on at the minute. Two, certainly one grandmaster, and Mr. Williams, and someone who's not far behind him, Mr. Hawkins.
One.
Great pot.
Yeah, excellent pot from Mark. Cannon the brown can pot this in to the green pocket, but not easy.
Yeah, the funny little shots, these are always a little thinner than you think. The amount of times players hit these thick. Let's just put the extension on as well, but there's nothing to do with the cue ball. You're coming down the table in an area where you're more or less guaranteed to be on a red. But as I say, the pot warrants a little bit of respect.
Yeah, played it very nicely.
It's from another side.
Judged it very well. He's on perfectly on the red next to the black. Red's not in great position though. I'm taking a little bit of sorting out.
Yeah, first glance they're pretty awkward, aren't they? Get cannon wrong here could end up no man's land. So he's had to sacrifice perfect position for
13.
dropping on the bottom red.
Yeah, judged that nicely. It's got a nice angle on the pink. Can screw behind the reds if he wants to put them in the same pocket as the pink. Yeah, nicely played.
20.
Now he pots that red.
21.
Frees up another red, so just starting to become a little bit easier for Mark.
Yeah, no need at all to go close to those three reds that are near the right corner in the line. They leave them alone completely. Try and pick off the loose ones. It'll be enough
28.
to get over the line without those.
Putting that red's just again freed another red, so a couple of reds that he could play on here. And he's played this break very nicely so far. Looked a bit awkward when he first came to the table, but excellent chance now to go on and win this third frame.
36.
Yeah, and I know they've had a couple of matches already this week, Lee, but both of them looking really good stroke, don't they? And amongst the balls, they look like they're going to score. That's a clever little cannons and positional play. This has been a wonderfully constructed little break. Could have been very awkward, this, but Mark's made it look pretty simple.
Yeah, it's been 3 very enjoyable frames so far. Like I said, both players to be potting very well. Safety's very good. Very good match, as you'd expect from these two.
44.
Could be a little bit awkward by the blue, just a little facial expression from Mark. Not quite happy with that, just wanted that cue ball to run a bit further. A little bit hampered by the blue. But no problem. So 66 points in front, 67 remaining, just this red.
15.
Should be enough to give Mark Williams a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, this has been fabulous stuff this afternoon. And the drama of the opening frame.
51.
Going to the pink and black, but the last two frames have been exemplary cue ball from both players in the scoring department. Bubbling up nicely into a top-class match.
$57.
I hope nobody took your advice, John, and went and made a
58.
cup of tea. They might have missed the frame. Nice little shot there from Mark.
64.
The three awkward reds into play. Just missed out on that century in the last frame, so can Mark make one now in this third frame.
Oh.
And struck that really well. Very nice shot.
Yeah, that was beautiful, wasn't it? That's
72.
the middle of the white all day long, that is. Glued to the side cushion, but never made a
73.
slightest bit of difference to Mark Williams, that. And this has just been, well, Williams-esque. It's what he does. Floats around the place and clears up.
18.
Yeah, Mark's made 689
81.
career centuries. I think that would have been a lot higher, though. I think in the early days, he wasn't really bothered about making centuries. He was just bothered about getting on with the next frame.
88.
He's going to need the awkward blue, though. But it's in a very nice position for a double. And Mark's usually pretty good at those.
May even decide to flick it off the cushion here. Got an angle.
93.
Choice could drop in behind, but could play the cannon. Just going to try and nudge it a little bit.
97.
So this blue for an absolutely incredible century break, which has just had everything in a wonderfully constructed. Get in. Well played, Mark Williams. An absolutely wonderful century break. Did it look like that when he came to the table? I don't think so. Hang on a minute. It's there. And for my next trick. In it goes. What a brilliant century break that was. Well played, Mark Williams. Fabulous stuff. Wonderful frame of snooker that was. A rapturous round of applause, and why not? He takes the lead by 2 frames to 1. Great stuff.
Thank you. Frame 4, Mark Williams to break.
So Mark Williams breaks off, 4th frame. And let's just hope that this standard continues. At the moment, both players playing excellent stuff.
You know, in a bizarre sort of way, really, I think the fact that it is only best of 7, I think it's probably making the players put even more effort into the concentration and more determined than ever because they know it's a sprint. That's why they're producing the best stuff. It has been a wonderful match so far. Ken saying about me running out of words, Lee. What a liberty. Kettles and black things. Absolutely brilliant crowd in today, really is. Queuing up outside and came in just before 12 o'clock. Absolutely queue down the road in the drizzling rain, it has to be said. They've had a treat so far this afternoon at this standard.
Could possibly have a go at this red closest to the blue. Again, he does like to play shots where this red is the only one that he could possibly leave, so he is taking it on. Not this time. Now, has he left that red on? He has. So this time it's gone wrong. And this is a chance for Barry.
Didn't look a great contact that either did the ball. Sort of bounced off the cloth a little bit there. Wasn't the cleanest. Unlike that.
1.
Straight away, Barry playing for that red next to the black. Trying to get
6.
that out of the way. Free the black up into both corner pockets. Match time just approaching the hour mark.
Seven.
Isn't it great when you get two players both playing great stuff? It does make for good matches. Lots of times on tour there'll be one player dominate or somebody's not quite in form, but that's not the case today. Both of these look really sharp. And it does make for great matches and great viewing.
14.
Yeah, it is strange how sometimes one player playing well can kind of spur the other player on to play well, but likewise, one player struggling can also drag the other player down and make them struggle a little bit. Fascinating.
15.
Obviously the pink won't go in its own spot with the shot that Barry's played there, so up on the brown, highest available.
21.
And if Barry can get down on the blue, he's got choice. He could go through for black and play cannons, or he could have gone for blue, but either way he's going to have to move the pack sooner rather than later.
22.
Because they're not brilliant at the moment.
No, I played that very well.
29.
Purposely played the can and the red. And he's on this red, and he's freed up about 3 or 4 other reds. Could be key shot in this frame.
Yeah, I do think he's a very classy cueist.
37.
Barry Hawkins. When he's round the pink and black spot area, he's very
38.
economical with the cue ball, doesn't do a lot of travelling. Usually very neat and tidy in his position. Yeah, sort of tempted to play a cannon in the pack here, but with the 2 loose reds, he'd probably just play out. So it's actually really nice bunch to go in off the blue. The 2 reds that
45.
are at the top of the pack there. I mean, if he did get on the blue there, it's a lovely target to hit because the cue ball won't run away.
.46.
But we'll see how he goes about it.
Yeah, didn't have the ideal angle on that black, but
53.
played it nicely, so got to get an angle this time, pot the red and get a nice angle on the black to be able to split these reds.
.54.
Yeah, played that nicely. Could have dropped that in, but played the correct shot round the angles, a bit aside. Left him perfect half ball on the black. So it's about this split. 54 points in the lead. This goes right. No reason why it shouldn't be 2 each. And he'll settle for that.
61.
Yeah, and the excellent standard just continuing. One mistake from Mark Williams. Looks like it's going to cost him this 4th frame.
62.
Looks like he must have come a little bit straight on this pink. Otherwise he'd have been down already and played it. Hence he's over for the yellow.
.64. .65.
So 65 points in front. He needs one more colour higher than the yellow.
I'm just thinking, Lee, he's just had a little, I'm hoping for his sake that 2 reds at the top of that cluster aren't a plant into the corner. I think that's why he's trying to avoid potting any ball other than the blue. I mean, ordinarily you'd get down. I mean, it doesn't look it from there, but if you play into it and get it wrong, you might knock one towards the corner. He may just drop the blue in here, not play a cannon at all, which I wouldn't blame him. I think that's why he's playing the shot or changing it.
Switch off your phone,
Yeah, I
please.
certainly don't blame him for playing the brown.
69.
69 in front, only 67 available. Could have played the blue to go into the reds. He could have missed the blue and hoping the reds for Mark Williams. Make sure you get that brown in first. Leave your opponent needing a snooker.
Barry
Excellent
Hawkins,
visit from Barry
69.
Hawkins.
Yeah, he's playing some pretty good stuff today, to say the least.
One.
So, 68 points in front. If he takes blue, it'll be one snooker to draw. If he takes the pink, one snooker to win. And that's why he's taking the pink. So, gonna need to get this. If he doesn't, it'll be frame over. Yes, well played.
Seven.
There you see, 62 points behind, 59 available, so 1 4-point snooker. Mark Williams would be able to win this frame.
Eight.
Couldn't avoid the cannon on the red. He's come up a little bit short on the black, but one thing he has to make sure of, he has to pot this black. Yeah, it's a very nice shot again. Beautifully played.
15. 16.
This is some rock hard match play going on here. And Mark Williams pots this, that red and the black, one red on the table. This is far from over, this frame.
$23.
Good chance to double here. He did, but it's not in.
Mark Williams, 23.
That red that was by the brown, Mark knew that was in a great position. If he could have got the double and then the black, it would have been guaranteed.
One.
Yeah, it's gone in, so that's going to seal this fourth frame.
Yeah, another outstanding frame of snooker. Barry Hawkins has had breaks of 95, 64 and 69, and he's only going to be 2 each.
Barry Hawkins, 5. Frame conceded. Frame
And that's frame conceded by Mark Williams. Is that enough? And what a fabulous match this is. Both players in tremendous form, and it's 2-2.
Thank you. Frame 5, Barry Hawkins to break. Quiet, please.
Yes, thanks, Catherine. And a very big frame 5, you'd have to say, because whoever wins it will get 2 bites of the cherry going across the line. And the player will have to win the last 2, so in a best of 7, this is the big frame. Give yourself that opportunity.
Well, we've said how good Barry's safety is, but he won't be happy with that one. He's left the chance in this red to the middle for Mark. Excellent pot, but
1.
needs the cue ball to slow up.
If there was a natural red down the left-hand side of the table, wouldn't be any hesitation. Mark would be taking the yellow in the middle, but because there isn't, it's brown instead with an excellent pot.
Yeah, I just noticed
5.
Barry's face when he made that safety shot. He knew straight away that he'd left that red for Mark.
6.
But again, it's not the best positional shot.
$11.
Could have done with that cue ball just running a little bit further as well. No, but it's a
12.
very nicely played cannon. Judged it perfectly. Just trying to see if he could get through to the black. If he can't, he's got the pink. Just a bit of an anxious look. Can he get through to this red?
19.
He's down pretty quickly. Yeah.
20.
Again, manoeuvred the cue ball very nicely. He's got the reds into a very decent position, so this is a good chance now for Mark.
27. 28.
'Still got
35.
3 or 4 open reds. But again, he's very quickly
46.
manoeuvred these reds into a very nice position. It's excellent stuff, John, isn't it, from both players?
Oh, fabulous match, Lee. Full stop. Both of them are in really good nick.
43.
And the standard of this break again, I mean, dropping the brown in the middle at its own bit of pressure right at the start of the break, and the way he's developed them into this situation, outstanding again.
$43.
Definitely one more red
49.
available after this red. You can see there that
50.
the red to the left of the three closest to the black will pot to the middle pocket. But looking to play a cannon if he catches the middle red of those three. Should be on a red. And now he's played it perfectly. And when he pots this one,
57.
he'll free up the one next to it as well. Well, I say he's played it perfectly. It might have gone just a little bit awkward.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch. Be careful with that leaning over there. So if not, it's going to be some form of implement, and it might be the long one. Yeah, like Yuli thought it was perfect at first glance, but it's not. It's awkward. It'll have an extension on it, and yep, far from easy. And of course, 57-point lead, so nowhere near over the winning line. Plenty of reds available, and none of them truly safe, you would say, with the quality of the opposition. Almost little cannons, and you can have them in perfect position, so got to be careful. I'm just looking as well. Does the other red go in the green pocket? Has he had a look at that? It'd be easier to cue, but anyway, he's decided he's playing this one with the implements on it. Yeah, as I say, possibly get through to that one. Still wouldn't be easy, but it might be easier than this.
What? Me? Sorry.
Brilliant. So is the cue ball going now? Oh, can you believe it?
57.
Oh, he didn't
Hawkins
deserve
pot.
that. Can you believe the cue ball's gone in there? What a pot that was. Sickener.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Mark. He has left a red for Barry. If he can pot this, they have every chance of getting back into this frame.
Yeah, and if he does knock it in, one little cannon into that cluster of four, and they'll all open up. Absolutely brilliant pot from Barry Hawkins.
Yeah, he struck that beautifully.
Yeah, he's not down the table enough to play that little cannon. He could have played a cannon into the first two reds, but open the other two up. But maybe he can do it with topspin. But if this goes right, he's right in it. There you go. They're all open.
8.
Just comes slightly awkward with the cueing. Can't quite. It's a distraction, Lee, isn't it? That type of shot.
Still fancy Barry to pot this, but yeah, he's played
9.
well. You have to say, John, the way he's been playing, you'd be surprised if he doesn't clear up from here.
Well, if he does, this will be one of the frames of the tournament.
14.
And how Mark Williams has gone in off in the middle pocket, I have no idea. You tried to pot a ball in on that angle, it wouldn't go in. But this is, well, high tension stuff at the minute. Here we go. Clips it in. Brilliant in its own.
21.
How has the cue ball gone in there from that? That is just incredible. But Barry Hawkins,
22.
at the moment, can he hold himself together for an absolute amazing steal?
$28. $29.
Just about had enough angle on that black, and he's controlled that beautifully.
36.
Yeah, nothing fancy here. Just go up the table. Go, if you can run through, get on the blue, because blue to yellow is very easy. Taking these superbly
37.
well. The opening red was an absolute beauty. And then followed by the cannon, which that was the one red he had to hit on that cannon of 4. And when he got the opening red, which is a great piece of cueing, straight in the middle of the pocket. And then the cannon after that followed, that was perfect. And sometimes in snooker,
44.
you do absolutely nothing wrong, as Mark Williams has done, and you don't win the frame.
Yeah, and I think as soon as that cue ball went in the middle, Williams would have been fearing the worst, because
47.
Barry Hawkins is cueing beautifully.
$51.
So, blue and pink for an absolutely fabulous steal
56.
in a wonderful frame of snooker. Just add into the drama of this incredible match this afternoon. Just this pink. Well played, Barry Hawkins. An absolutely fabulous clearance. You'd have to say very, very unlucky Mark Williams. But what a response that was from Barry Hawkins. And now he leads by 3 frames to 2. Some match this.
Thank you. Frame 6, Mark Williams to break.
Well, one thing I can absolutely guarantee it is the man at the table won't be quitting. No matter what happened to him in the last frame, that'll be gone. He'll be ready to just do his best in this one. Because he's one of the things, aside from all his talent, and blessed with a brilliant temperament.
It's a nicely played shot from Barry, just playing that swerve around the yellow. There you see safety success, 92% for Mark Williams, which is pretty much as good as it can get. 78 for Barry. I suppose if he was looking for maybe one thing, they're not doing that great. Long pot success, both in the 30s. Pot success, 88. Mark Williams, 95% for Barry Hawkins. That's exceptional.
Yeah, he might have been on 33% for long pot. The important one went in the last frame. And he found a 3-ball plant. And he's got the gap, I think. Very clever finding that one. And he can get through the gap to the black, even though it's not easy. Yep, there's the gap. Yeah, very good. Only cannon he could play there was onto that red just to stay on the loose one.
8.
Not come out perfect, but it was still a good cannon.
Nine.
So, not a great chance yet at this moment, but he's at the table, and the way he's playing, you wouldn't be surprised if he went on to make a break from here.
Yeah, now pink is slightly away from the pack of reds at the top, but if he can get on the blue here
16.
and come off and get full ball on the pink, he'll definitely open reds out. It's all about that cannon on the pink. Been very good with the cue ball all day. So if he can drop on the blue here and get that pink full on, you never know. This is the key shot coming up.
17.
Can he get it right?
Yeah, he's got the absolute perfect angle for that shot as well. Can he catch the pink full in the face? Oh, I was just about to say, has he been unlucky? But he's caught the pink absolutely perfectly. Thought that red was going in the corner pocket.
Well, he's on this red. First I didn't think he was. What a chance this is for frame and match. Been beautifully manufactured, you'd have to say. That red next to the black just above it is the one he'd like to get rid of. So he can easily play on that. Well, obviously it'll go the other pocket, the black, so doesn't need to play on that just yet, but that's
28.
perfect if it goes in both top pockets.
$29.
And it obviously does, so it's even better.
Williams will be fearing the worst here, I think. The way Barry's been playing, the way these reg are situated. Great chance for Barry Hawkins to win frame and match.
Yeah, I think he's just got to punch this one a bit. He'd like to run around the angles, but that red that's on the side cushion might be a problem, so it's punched.
37.
And he's played it very well. Yeah, I've always been a big fan of Barry as a player and as a lad. He's one of the nicest lads you could meet on the circuit, but it's a while since I've seen him hit the ball this well. He really has hit it good.
44.
Yeah, he's already had breaks of 62, 64, 69, 95, 45 and counting here. Fantastic performance.
Yeah, this is the, what you'd call the danger part of the break. He's just getting not quite over the line yet, but just got to make sure you keep that cue ball. Score enough. Punch that out nicely.
52.
Couldn't be any better.
Yeah, that was a very nicely controlled shot. They could have gone
53.
wrong. I think this would probably be the last chance for Mark. I think if this cannon goes correct, I think it's game over. Yeah, slightly awkward cueing.
60.
Yeah. Exactly that. Nothing you can do with the cue ball. And it's like that. Just make sure you get centre striking and put any side on. And it's come, well, betwixt and between this. It's not great on that one. And there's a bit more to do with the cue ball on the one he's taken. So I would suggest this is probably the last hope for Mark. If this goes right, it's probably all over. Very good shot under pressure. Absolutely imperative that you got the middle of the cue ball there. Nothing you can do with these, just centre strike. And that was beautifully played. Well, Mark Williams has certainly played his part in this. And that last frame was, well,
68.
The in off was absolutely crucial, wasn't it? But what you have to do with Barry Hawkins is
69.
take your hat off and say what a response it was and how well has he played today. And if he keeps up this standard, he's going to take a bit of whooping.
Yeah, it's hard to play better than this. So we take a look at the in off in the last frame. Very unfortunate. If that doesn't go in, goes on to win the frame. But
77.
every credit to Barry Hawkins. He has been superb in this match.
Yeah, there's been a couple of wonderful games this week here in Llandudno, but I would suggest this has been the best. Standard
84.
has been outstanding, match play brilliant, and both players, well, pretty much at the peak. Not to be, but that break of 84 will be enough. And Mark Williams comes over, shakes his hand. And Barry Hawkins, well, what a performance that was today. Absolute scoring machine. Played brilliantly all through the afternoon. Two players did. And it's Barry Hawkins who goes through to the quarter.